Okay, everybody, you welcome back after the Nevruz period break. So this is our last workshop, and today we have four organizers. Our organizers are Nazarke, Nurlan, Daniel, and Maksat. They will train us on construction operations and commissioning. This is the last workshop, and after this training, we will have the last roundtable discussions on Wednesday, on Thursday, and the workshop series will be over. And before starting this workshop, also I like to remind that the earlier group, group 5, is supposed to give the final report within this week until Wednesday. Please note it. Okay, so stage is yours, guys. Please start and share in the document as you like it.
Yeah.
Okay, please go on.
Hello, everyone. So today's topic is construction operations and commissioning. And today's presenters is me, Nurlan, Maksat, Nazirke, and Danyar. So the outline of this presentation will be first introduce the concept of commissioning, and then go for the each certifications, then conclude. So here the video first.
What will the lifeline of modern buildings look like? Will the construction industry build more sustainably, durably, and always meet the standards for high-performing buildings? At Alpin, we have realized that while commissioning becoming more important, it is often seen as complicated and confusing. We want to reach out to the construction industry professionals who are looking for clarity on what commissioning really is and the value it provides. This is why we would like to share our expert knowledge and present an overview of the commissioning process. In most cases, commissioning activities are applicable to all phases of the project, from early stage design, procurement, construction and assembly, to the final handover of the built asset to the owner, often including a warranty and operational phase. It is commissioning that allows you to make sure that from the initial idea, through the design, all the way to the finished building, every energy-related operational requirement has been met. The scope of commissioning covers heating and cooling, refrigeration, ventilation systems and controls, lighting and daylight controls, domestic hot water systems, renewable energy systems, automatic controls for shading, and any number of additional systems requested by the client. Smart commissioning will help you meet all mandatory requirements, save valuable funds, which would be otherwise spent on excessive energy consumption, assure the facility management team are informed, save you development time spent on change orders, benefit the occupants by guaranteeing better indoor air quality and thermal comfort, reduce premature failure of equipment, and thus increase the overall value of the building asset.
So the commissioning is a systematic process of ensuring that the building is designed, constructed, and performs efficiently based on the design considerations. So at the end of the phase of the construction, the building should operate at some certain level. So this phase will ensure that the building operates well, and it has some phases. So in the pre-design phase and design phase, construction phase, acceptance, and warranty phase, it has its own requirements. So this is the main idea of the construction operation and commissioning. And as I have told, commissioning phases consist of the design, construction, acceptance, and warranty, and the step by step can be explained in the left side arrows. So it starts from the design, goes to the construction, and then gets acceptance, and overall it checks for the warranty. So commissioning values the main aim of the commissioning is to reduce the total ownership cost, improve the energy and water efficiency, save healthy, productive built environment, and promote sustainable stewardship. So first certification will be started from with Nazarke. Nazarke. Nazarke, your microphone.
Oh, sorry. The first certificate that we're going to discuss is the BREEAM. So it has 11 sections. So we will focus in the management section, which weighs 21 credits out of 135 credits. So the BREEAM section is divided into 5 sections, subsections. And as we are focusing on the commissioning, we will discuss only fourth and the fifth subsection, which are commissioning and handover and aftercare. So the one thing that I want to highlight is that there is a list of minimum standards for the BREEAM in order to achieve very good rating. So the commissioning and handover is included in that list of minimum standards, which shows the importance of the commissioning and the handover. So next slide, please. So I will discuss each of this subsection. So the first subsection is commissioning and handover. So the main purpose of this subsection is to encourage a properly planned handover and the commissioning process that reflects the needs of the building occupants. So this subsection is divided into 4 parts, where each part weighs 1 credit. So these are commissioning for testing schedule and responsibility, commissioning for design and the preparation, testing and inspecting building fabric, and the last one is handover. Next slide, please. So I will discuss each of these parts individually. So the first one is commissioning after testing for testing schedule and responsibilities. So for the evaluation of this part, there should be prepared a schedule of commissioning and the testing. So this schedule identifies a suitable time scale for commissioning and recommissioning for all complex and simple building structures. So for the assessment of this schedule, project team members should be appointed who will monitor the program after pre-commissioning, during the pre-commissioning, commissioning, and the testing procedures. So this part also should include the principal contractor that will also monitor the testing program and control that all this commissioning process is within their budget. So next slide, please. The next part is commissioning for design and the preparation. So during the design stage, the client or principal contractor should be appointed for an appropriate project team member. So this project team member should explain should give information about the design review and giving advice on suitability for ease of commissioning. So he will also provide commissioning management, including information about the performance testing and the handover or post-handover stages. So this information for more suitable for simple structures, for complex buildings, this role should be carried out by a specialist commissioning manager. So next slide, please. So the third part is testing and inspecting building fabric. So for the evaluation of this part, post-construction testing should be completed. Assigned a suitably qualified professional undertakes the survey and the testing in accordance with the appropriate standard. So any defects identified during post-construction testing should be rectified prior to building handover. And any remedial works must meet the required performance characteristics for the building or element as defined at the design stage before the construction works. So next slide, please. And the last part of this subsection, next slide, please, is handover. So prior to handover, there should be developed two building user guides, non-technical and the technical, for building occupiers and for premises facilities managers accordingly. So there should also be developed a draft copy first for users in order to ensure the guide is most appropriate and useful to potential users. So there should also be prepared trainings for also non-technical and the technical trainings for building occupiers and for premises facilities managers. So next slide, please. And the next subsection that we included in our presentation is aftercare. So the main purpose of this subsection is also to ensure the building operates in accordance with the design intent and the operational demand by providing aftercare to the building owner and the occupants during the first year of occupation. So this subsection includes three parts, which are aftercare support, commissioning for implementation, and the post-occupancy evaluation. So each of these parts weighs 1 credit. Next slide, please. So aftercare support part provides aftercare support to the building occupiers by having in place operational infrastructure and the resource. So the next part is post-occupancy evaluation. So the client or building occupiers commits to carry out this evaluation exercise 1 year after the building is occupied. So this will help to gain comprehensive in-use performance feedback and identifies gaps between the design intent and the in-use performance. So the main aim of this post-occupancy evaluation is to highlight any improvements or interventions that need to be made and to inform operational processes. So for the evaluation, the independent party provides a report with lessons learned to the clients and the building occupiers. So next slide, please. And the third part of this aftercare subsection. Next slide.
I think I need some. The last one is?
Yes.
Nazarke, are you still with us?
Baba. Baba.
Nazarke, are you still with us?
Yes, there should be one more slide.
1 minute, please. Sorry, let me rejoin. Here it is. Can you see?
Yeah, this slide. So I'm sorry. So the last part of aftercare subsection is commissioning for implementation. So there are two different approaches for complex systems and for simple systems. For complex systems, any changes made by the owner should be identified that may cause impaired or improved performance. So all the building services should be tested under full load conditions, and there should be taken testings during the periods of extreme weather, in the cold and in the hot weather. So also the building occupants should be interviewed, and so the commissioning should produce monthly reports, and any inefficiencies should be identified. So it also includes the decommissioning system, and any revisions in the operating procedures also should be included. And for simple systems, it only includes review of all the system, and any deficiency should be identified, and it also includes recommissioning system. So that is all for the BREEAM certification.
So Maksat.
Hello, Professor. Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to introduce LEED certification and tell more about their criteria. So next slide. The US Green Building Council created the LEED standards over 15 years ago to promote sustainability-focused practices in the building and construction industry. These practices offer a holistic approach to green building with recommendations that relate to the water efficiency, materials and resources, indoor air quality, and more. The LEED certification program honors buildings that were designed, built, and operated with efficiency in mind. Recognizing the effectiveness and benefits that commissioning would provide in green buildings, the members of this certification decided to include commissioning as a component in the LEED certification process. And the commissioning agent with LEED knowledge will be able to help project teams meet the requirements of LEED certification and get points toward higher LEED label. As you can see in the slide, we see 4 labels: certified, silver, gold, and platinum. So next slide, please. Firstly, I want to tell about integrative process. An integrative process is approach to building systems and equipment. The project team members will look for synergies among systems and components and find some advantages that will help to achieve high levels of building performance, human comfort, and environmental benefits. Integrative process divided to prerequisite and credit. At the prerequisite, there are 4 requirements. So first requirement is owner's project requirements document. This document is very necessary because it includes goals and strategies to safeguard the health of building occupants, the local community, and the global environment, while creating high performance healing environment for the building patients. A second is preliminary rating goals. It is required to conduct it before schematic design, and it is required also to meet with a minimum of 4 key project team members to discuss every goal. Also, it is essential to speak with owner or owner's representative to determine the LEED certification level, to pursue, as I mentioned at the previous slide, to select the LEED credits to meet with targeted certification level, and identify the responsible parties to ensure the LEED requirements for each prerequisite and selected credit. Next, here I want to talk about more the third and fourth requirements. It is integrated project team. At the early stage of design, it is very important to add as many as possible professionals, a minimum of 4, like acoustical consultants, equipment planners, energy modelers, structural engineers, maybe some commissioning agents that will help in the future with commissioning and operation. And the last requirement is design charretta. This is a type of workshop where the project team members will discuss the strategy, collaborate, and brainstorm to set new project goals and achieve sustainability goals. The main objective will be to optimize the integration of green strategies across all aspects of building design, construction, and operations, with the experience of every member. So it is like our workshop that we are doing here. We can say that we are all doing design charrette. The next slide, please. A 2-level format. Actually, in LEED certification, commissioning is divided in 2 levels, called fundamental commissioning of building energy systems. This is the prerequisite, and enhanced commissioning. This is optional. It will be granted with extra points. Firstly, I want to start that there are like 3 requirements. First is commissioning. Next slide, please. There are 3 requirements here: commissioning process scope, commissioning authority qualifications, current facilities requirements, and operation and maintenance. Here, this is essential to commissioning authority to review the basis of design, like OPR and project design, to develop and implement a commissioning plan, to develop some construction checklists, develop a system test procedure, to prepare a final commissioning process report, and document all findings and recommendations, and report them directly to the owner throughout the process. So the second is commissioning authority qualifications. That commissioning authority must have some experience, at least 2 building projects with a similar scope of work, and must extend from the experience must extend from early design phase throughout at least 10 months of occupancy. And third is current facilities requirements and operations and maintenance plan. It is required to prepare and maintain the current facilities requirements and operations and plan that contains the information necessary to operate the building efficiently. The plan must include a sequence of operations, building occupancy schedule, equipment runtime schedules, set points for all HVAC equipment, setting light levels throughout the building, minimum outside area requirements, and many other requirements that should be done. And the last credit, enhanced commissioning. One second, please. The enhanced commissioning, there are two options. This is enhanced systems commissioning. It will give like 3 to 4 points based on the path that you will choose for your building. There are two paths, like enhanced commissioning and enhanced and monitoring based commissioning. First will give 3 points, the second will give 4 points if you will achieve both paths. This is required to review contractor submittals, to verify inclusion of system manual requirements, verify inclusion of operator and occupant training requirements, verify systems manual updates and delivery, review building operations, develop a commissioning plan. These all requirements will help to get more points. And the second part, it should be included the things like roles and responsibilities, measurement requirements, planning for repairs needed to maintain performance, and the frequency of analysis. And second option is a building enclosure commissioning. At this option, it is required to it is more connected with testing, like verifying seasonal testing, verify operator and occupant training delivery, and verify inclusion of training requirements. Actually, in the LEED certification, there are two rating systems for building, for new building and existing building. For building commissioning for new buildings, like I described it before, there are two options, like fundamental commissioning and verification, and enhanced commissioning. The retro commissioning, which is also identified in the LEED, there are 3 credits, up to 3 points. This is analysis, implementation, and ongoing commissioning credit. Next slide, please. This is all. So in conclusion, I want to say that commissioning is the most commonly associated with energy savings in LEED certification, but it is also could positively impact many of other LEED credit categories. So the commissioning was added not so that was in version 4. So these standards recognize the importance of building commissioning, and it is one of the important aspects of LEED certification. I think that's it.
So going to the green globes, I'd like to say that the objective is to design, construct, and calibrate the building system so that they operate as intended. So in the requirement of the commissioning for the Green Globes, we can see that they engage the independent commissioning authority, provide design intent and the basis of design documentation, include commissioning requirements in the construction documentation and the develop commissioning plan. So here I will mostly focus on the pre-commissioning, whole building commissioning, and operation maintenance manual, which also consists the construction operations. Each criteria has to be answered to the specific question, so they will be tested if they met or if they meet the requirement or not. So in the Green Globes, there are like environmental aspect assessed in the 1,000 point for the energy, indoor environment, site, water, resource emissions, and project environmental management. After achieving the threshold of at least 35% of the building can be certified for them as a Green Globe. So in the two categories will be discussed: the new construction and continual improvement of existing buildings. So in the new construction, there are two stages: the review of construction documents, working drawings, landscape design, and everything based on the report and documentation. The second stage is the on-site walkthrough and checking the document base report with the real conditions. For the existing building, extensive documentation review and checking the condition of the building at the moment of process. And here you can see the overall life cycle of the Green Globes for the construction. So here it will give some overview for the construction. And the assessment guidance of the Green Globes is the where commissioning and building operator training conducted the following building systems for the HVAC and building envelope, lighting system control, plumbing, electrical system, elevating and the conveying system, and then lastly the communication, sound making, masking systems. So the points are given as in the table, and there are two more. There's a system manual produced the accordance with guideline, and if yes 10, if not 0 points. And also the last one is the conduct systems training is according with the also the guideline and the same points. So in the pre-commission, I'd like to say that the pre-commission is a quality-oriented process for achieving, verifying, and documenting that is a performance of facility system assemblies meets defined objectives and criteria. And the pre-commissioning design, pre-commissioning stage is requires the basic design ideas and also the operation systems of the building. And the next thing is the whole building commissioning, which is objects. The construction phase is where the largest amount of commissioning work takes place, and reviewing the submittals against the commissioning plan, OPR and BOD, revise the OPR and commissioning plan and schedule if necessary. And the other systems are mostly based on the testing and checking the maintenance. So the training should identify the end user maintenance personnel, provide the end user with a refresher on building equipment, and provide understanding of system, equipment, and design. So here the question is the requirement that will be training for the building operators on system listed above in the accordance with the guideline. So here only 1 point if yes, and no for 0 point. And operations of construction. So operations and maintenance manual, is there the question should ask them mostly about the operation and maintenance operations and maintenance manual, so that it contains the description of information. So the answers are based on their priority will be given for points. And also here the one hint is that simply because the building was built in green doesn't mean it will operate in environmentally friendly fashion unless throughout the operating procedures are in place as soon as the building is occupied. So this is the main idea of the commissioning. Document doesn't guarantee the environmental friendly operation of the building. So it should be checked, it should be maintained throughout the lifetime of the building. And the operating plans, policies, and protocols for variety of building aspects should allow the building engineers and managers to run the building as it was designed. So this is the main idea from the Green Globes, and now Daniel will continue.
So this is the last rating system, which is called DGNB, which I think you have never heard of before. I mean, in the previous workshops, because the concept of construction operations and commissioning in different rating systems are differently. For example, for some rating systems, they exactly specify the location. However, for the rest, like they smear the concept of commissioning on operations into that all the different indicators categories. So the next slide. So basically, DGNB stands for Deutsche Gesellschaft für nachhaltiges Bauen. In case if you don't know Deutsch, then it's just German Sustainable Building Council. So in order to make sustainable green building construction applicable and applicable practically measurable in a sense, the DGNB has developed its own certification system in 2009. So DGNB system is based on the 3 sustainable areas of environment, social, and economic, which are weighted equally in the evaluation. This system does not evaluate individual actions, but the overall performance of the building based on this 6 criteria. So depending on the outstandingness and how good the building behaves, DGNB system gives the certificates of platinum, gold, silver, or bronze. So out of 6 different criteria, the one that will be helping to deal with our constructions, operations, and commissioning is the process quality. So next slide. So out of, in here we have 9 criteria of process quality, which aims to increase the planning quality and the construction quality. In here you can see all the different 9 criteria for process quality. However, for the sake of our topic, we will be referring only to systematic commissioning and FM compliant planning, where FM stands for facility management compliant planning. So next slide. First, let's start with systematic commissioning. The aim is to hand over the completed building here and ensure that it operates systematically so that all functions work as they initially designed. Basically here we have 7 indicators. So this systematic commissioning is, it ensures that all the planned functions are implemented in the building. So this will minimize risk of some event to occur and will help to use energy sources efficiently. As it was previously mentioned, systematic commissioning is directly proportional to the energy consumption. It has this 7 criteria where it spread out into 3 different like subcategories. First one deals with systematic commissioning completion. Second one is designed for training provided trainings. And last one, it readjusts after operating phase. So everything that is done, it is then thoroughly analyzed and managed. So indicators 1 to 5, they evaluate the extent to which systematic commissioning of the completed building has been prepared and documented. So this evaluation takes into account at least the following technical components like heating system, ventilation, room air conditioning, cooling technology, lighting, hot water supply, and facade. In this criteria, you can see a maximum of 100 points can be awarded. However, for this systematic commissioning, in a general sense, only 3 points are allocated for this systematic commissioning. So next slide. Now let's move on to the breakdown of systematic commissioning. The first one is, first 5 is for commissioning. So here, the first one, monitoring concept. At this stage, appropriate monitoring concept has been implemented for the building that at least allows to all energy and water consumptions to be recorded regularly, like in a monthly period, etc. Second one is commissioning concept. Here, it's planned to create commissioning concept for the entire building. So all the commissioning processes will be described, as well as scheduling. Next slide. The third indicator is preliminary function test. So all essential technical components that I have mentioned before, they first undergo a preliminary function test. And of course, everything is documented. And then at the stage 4, it undergoes a function test and training. So everything undergoes a function test and everything is recorded, documented. So future operators will be able to understand the test results. Of course, operator has been appropriately trained. Next slide. So the final stage of commissioning is generation of the report. So at this stage, a complete final report on the commissioning of the building is generated. And the next one, as we move on to the training session, training indicators, integral operating concept and systematic commissioning. In here, the operating concept has now moved on to the process of continuous monitoring and regulating. Excuse me. The operators has been appropriately trained regarding this integral operating concept, so they are a bit aware of what is happening there. Next slide. And the last one, commissioning management. In here, systematic commissioning is reviewed under this section. Commissioning management requires comprehensive service descriptions for structured approaches, documentation of the services, documentation of acceptance, commissioning, and optimization. So as all these 7 indicators are evaluated, now we are ready to go, since we can like exploit our building. Next slide. So we moved on to the second one, facility management compliant planning. The objective is to take into account the requirement of facility management for building operation. So this will ensure optimal operation of the building. Yeah, optimal operation of the building. So this will, this building will be optimally operated by users and service providers. So the benefit of this category is that an early review of the areas of building operation and operating cost projection, it enables in the future operating cost and effort to be significantly reduced. So in addition, the analysis and optimization of user-related energy consumption, it supports the energy efficiency of the building. So the next slide. So indicator 1 is the performance of an facility management check for the project. Here, the objective is optimization. No. Can you go back? Yeah, here. The objective is to optimize planning with regard to sustainable building operation. So accessibility, operational routing, and space utilization issues is analyzed and planned with regards to building operations. Here they are. So, they include areas or relevant for operations such as disposal rooms, delivery zones, material storage, surface quality examination like floor and wall coverings, lighting, ventilation, water supply, waste, water drainage, etc. Examination of facades, floor coverings, and building structures. Examination of operation processes and building technologies. So the next one. Operating cost projection. The objective of this second indicator is to optimize planning with regards to cost-effective operation of the building. So the assessment of the future operating costs must be carried out at this stage. So with regards to this for infrastructure, technical services, energy costs, and municipal charges, all the cost types that building is spending has to be recorded. Next slide, the last one. The last indicator is user-related and user-related energy consumption. At this stage, appropriate creation of energy saving concept is planned for things like lifts. For things like lifts, escalators, facades, lighting, displays, and user equipment. It's worth to be noted that this concept takes into account is taken into account during the planning process in order to identify potential improvements and document them later. Now to conclude. Next slide. To conclude, we have witnessed commissioning and construction operations for the Green Globe buildings, which is the final stage of sustainable green building assessment. We have looked through green commissioning and construction operations for Green Globes, BREEAM, LEED, and the German DGNB. Of course, it's hard to assess them directly. However, with help of Thursday session, we will be able to use the knowledge that we got today from these 4 different rating systems, and we hope to apply it for our beautiful capital city, Astana. The next is the reference list, and in case if you have any questions, you are free to ask.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good presentation. Great.
Thank you very much. It's an interesting presentation. And also my understanding that this part, commissioning, is a little bit abstract than the other parts. I mean, the other
Even construction
understand how the points is assigned. Yes.
Since, for example, in a well, when we were looking through, it was just a part of not even indicator. Like you have an air and you have several indicators for that. It was even in one of the questions related to that indicator. So it was in order to fully cover this commissioning and construction operations section, we had to look through the entire rating systems, which is, I think, impossible. Or it has some.
Okay, thank you.
Constraints.
Okay. Okay, dear audience, do you have any question? Anyway, we are going to have a roundtable discussions on Thursday, but it might be good if you ask a question now, because, you know, even for me, it is a little bit difficult to grasp the content and the extent of the assessment on commissioning.
Yeah, maybe you would like to know deeply or more comprehensively the meaning of commissioning.
Yes. Here, okay, the commissioning. Also, I like to see that who is the commissioner here?
Commissioning is basically some ratings that are.
No. Who is the commissioner? This is a key question actually. Who is the commissioner? So, who is making this activity? The certification providers or some external body?
It's actually the people who is from the checking group. So they will test the implementation of the project in the design stage, and they will they are like a kind of officials, so they will check if the implementation of the design of the building has been done properly.
Yeah, that's correct. But who is those people? I mean, are they dependent, independent, external, fully dependent? I mean, auditing company or the company from the Green Gloves or Green? Who they are? Who are making the commissioning there?
No,
my idea is that if the certification systems are pushing the construction companies to get a commissioning service from their side, or any accredited commissioning service, like a kind of waste auditing, can work as a commissioning.
The commissioners could be anyone, like it will be external or internal members.
I see. Okay, so it's
but they have to be
it should be from the side of the certification company, right?
Yeah, they're like mostly like from the project managers, and they'll take them.
I see. So it is standard building commissioning, not a kind of extra commissioning from the certification companies.
Sorry, what's is it question?
I think it is not understood what I'm saying. So it is a typical building commissioning as we know it. Okay, So nothing
Yeah.
else like a commissioning from the Green Globes or BREEAM. Is correct?
Yeah, it's like a mostly the commissioning construction operations is like a at the final stage of the building. So this is mostly from the project managers, not the not the.
What do you mean? What do you
engineers.
mean final stage?
I mean like in the when the project design has been implemented, when the project is been done. So before giving to the clients and other end users, the certification systems, they should check the building commissioning and operations before they give it to the end users. So this is like a from the project management side.
I see. This is my understanding that it's a kind of waste auditing, the same thing. Okay. So it's clear, guys. I got my answers. Do you have any other questions for them? Others, other students, other audience, do you have any questions? Okay.
No, Professor.
Mohammed, you have no question?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, you are supposed to ask questions. You are our question. No? Okay. Even though Mohammed has no question, it means that you are fine, guys. Okay, thank you very much. I think we can finalize the session today if there is no more further activity in the training. Okay, so I am comfortable now. I think I got the knowledge and I am ready for the round table. I think the others are feeling the same. Okay.
Thank you.
Concluding remarks or just closing the session now? What do you prefer? Would you like to any concluding remarks? No?
Oh, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much and see you on Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you.
See you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Goodbye.